Switch the usual order of information. 4. Leave some details to the imagination. 5. Stimulate discussion. 6. Use the less is more approach. 7. Write so your words personally touch the learner. 8. Make your messages easy to read. 9. Avoid verbs that don't convey action. Later in this chapter, I explain how you can create fiction in your reinforcement program. Direction. I know what you think, and I know what I'm doing, is what my coach told me in Russia. That is direction. If you use the reinforcement objectives and understand your learners, you can guide them. Actually, you don't guide them as much as you prevent them from getting lost and dropping out. You don't want learners to drop out. To create direction and avoid dropout, 1. Be clear on what you expect. 2. Describe clearly when something needs to be done. 3. Avoid direction that can be interpreted different ways. 4. Repeat assignments. 5. Use a clear and recognizable structure. 6. Give a summary at crucial moments. 7. Encourage the learner to reflect and look to the future. 8. Use questions to check if the learner is on track. 9. Avoid dense text. Later in this chapter, I explain how to put direction to work in your reinforcement program. Balancing friction and direction. It is not easy to combine the techniques to create friction with the techniques to create direction. You should know what happens with your learners if you create a program with too little or too much friction in combination with too little or too much direction. You will distinguish the effect of different combinations of friction and direction. Here is a breakdown of each of these combinations. Low direction, low friction. If you create a program with little direction in combination with low friction, your learners will not be challenged and may not know what they need to do to change their behavior or when they need to do it. The learners will show disinterest, and the consequence is resignation. Even a highly motivated learner will drop off in this situation. Low direction, high friction. If you keep the direction low but increase the friction, the learners will become confused. The learners' brains work very hard, but don't have a frame of reference. The consequence is that the learners show resistance because they don't know why you are asking them to change their behavior and what they need to do to change it. They become lost and drop out. This happens with highly motivated learners as well as with not-so-motivated learners. I've seen situations in which designers have to work with less motivated learners. They design a reinforcement program to drive their engagement with lots of friction to challenge the learners and activate their brains. However, in most cases, they achieve exactly the opposite. High direction, low friction. If you use less friction and increase the direction in your reinforcement program, the learners get only directions without challenging their brains. You treat them as small children. The learners start enthusiastically, but over time they don't feel respected. The consequence is that the learners show resistance because they are not being challenged and their brains are in a state of laziness. This does not motivate the learners to continue your program, so they drop out and your participation rate decreases. High direction, high friction. Once you balance the friction and direction at a high level, you start to create what I call guided challenge. The learners do not understand what's going on, and the challenge creates an alertness which leads to friction. The direction gives the learners a frame of reference. This combination of friction and direction motivates the learners and helps them grow. The consequence is that the learners are involved and stay active in your program, and active learners increase the percentage of your participation. Many designers of reinforcement programs have no difficulty in giving direction. The challenge lies in daring to create friction. After you create friction, the next question is, how much guidance do my learners need? When I teach inexperienced reinforcement